In the news today, the investment arm of the government's independent advisor on the privatisation of Royal Mail made an £8 million profit selling shares in the company during the first week of trading. Lazard Asset Management was allocated 6 million of the 13 million shares reserved for banks advising on the deal, leading Ed Miliband to accuse the Prime Minister of giving out golden tickets to priority investors. And a European Court of Justice ruling last night effectively gave the go-ahead to a levy that city experts fear could wipe 3.6 billion from British firms and shrink private pension pots. The body rejected a legal challenge by Chancellor George Osborne against the proposed financial transaction tax on share and bond deals. Pensions advisor Ros Altman warns there is a danger that the imposition on a tax on every transaction will make pensions smaller. And in property news today, landlords could face 1970s-style cap on rent increases under a Labour government, Ed Miliband will announce later today. His proposals will force landlords to provide 3-year tenancies to give families greater security by limiting annual rent rises and to protect tenants from rogue landlords. However, Conservatives have accused Labour of trying to bring back rent controls like those blamed for damaging the property sector during the 1960s and 1970s, and have argued that the policy would result in low-quality accommodation and fewer homes to rent. The price of an average home could double to $446,000 in a decade and hit almost $1 million in 20 years, warns a report from Shelter and KPMG, who are calling on the bank to build more homes. Rising prices mean that more than half of all 20 to 34-year-olds could be still living with their parents by 2040 because they cannot afford to buy. And finally, union bosses have demanded a crackdown on 0-hours contracts after it emerged that the number of workers on them rose by 800,000 in just 5 months. There are now an estimated 1.4 million people employed on 0-hours contracts, and an ONS study of 5,000 employers found that nearly half of big firms use these type of contracts.